Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. Haven't decided. It's still kind of early whether to go up the river or what to do today. Maybe do some shopping. I'm going to be doing an update on the belly button ring, and I've finally been changing that out for the first. I'll give an update on that finally. Some good news. It's a gorgeous morning, probably 75 degrees here about 10:30. Yesterday we did a lot of work here, and I did not do the video on that. Frankly, I was too dirty. I mean, it was too messy and dirty a job. It's another thing on the Rancho. It had to be done, and I've always said repeatedly that when you have a Rancho, even a small size one like this, there's always something that you need to do, something on the to-do list. Looking up every time we go by, our nice security lighting goes off. We haven't had any issues or anything. Let's go to the back. I think Missy Jen is engaged in a little project, and then we'll get back and tour the rest. When I first moved here, it's hard to believe, 7 years ago, pardon the camera, using the GoPro today. When I first moved here 7 years ago, this was all busted down. There was no fencing here, and people were cutting through from here, going up to the street of Shattered Dreams, and I'd be having breakfast and they would just wave to me walking by on the property. So cleared out all the boards, and the guy that was clearing out, I hired somebody to clear out all the blackberries and take down a few trees. And he said, "You want me to take down this big rose bush here?" And I said, "No, that's the only nice looking thing on the whole property." Of course, since then we've put the Lady Banks roses on, which are doing great. Missy Jen, you're doing a little trim here today? You say you got a lot of dead growth in there.
I got a whole bunch cut out.
Yeah, this is an enormous.
As you can see on the ground, there is a big pile of.
Yeah, there's an enormous. You can see all that Missy Jen's cut out, and this is a good project for her because it gives her a little exercise, Jen, and it's not going crazy out here,
And
right?
it keeps my mind in the realms of nice weather and
It gets you outside a little bit, which is a good thing.
and there's some nice music there.
Yeah, somebody's got their
It's
Somebody's
good
got their-
meditation. Mr. Miyagi always used to trim his little bonsai.
yeah, Mr. Miyagi in the Karate Kid trimming his little bonsai tree, huh?
So I like to trim like big trees.
Trim this big one. So Jen's doing kind of a restorative project on this big. It does put beautiful yellow roses out. Georgie, you better stay out of that pole. Let's go to the back. I heard from the guy, you know, I have a good cooperative arrangement with the guy that manages, and also the owner back here of the apartment house here. It's part of the density. Looks like somebody's moving out over here. I've got their music blasting, but they wanted, the guy quoted me $5,500 to do this 100-foot section of fencing over here. $5,500, you know, to replace that. And I said, dude, I paid $1,500 for 300, you know, the length of a football field over here. You know, so I'll just end up doing it myself. I'm going to have a whole load of, in September, a big load of lumber delivered in, put some more cross members on here, do some more bracing of this. You know, I might have been born in the morning, but not yesterday morning. But you can see it's still, you know, it's not bad. You know, I used some of my bracing down here. We're going to go ahead and put some new cross members on top and bottom, and then put some boards on this side. And I think that that'll be really nice. That'll cost me about $1,000 worth of lumber, and that'll be good. Over here, you know, I like fig trees, don't get me wrong, but they are the worst growing trees. Really? These are the worst growing trees on planet Earth. I mean, if you take a look at it, I mean, they just grow in a zillion directions. There's no rhyme or reason to them. So I'm kind of at the, I mean, it's a huge old fig tree. You kind of hate to cut it, but I'm going to have to take it down a lot this fall, really a lot. It's a double cropper, fig trees. They produce 2 crops, one in the spring and one in the fall. So you can see some of the little, I call them little figlets here instead of piglets on there. But the net effect of this tree being out of control is you can see how goofy the apple tree grows here. See? Things got to stretch forward over here. So it's really, I mean, it's an old apple tree. I mean, it's got to be 60 years old. I don't know. Rose, you're 60. Huh? Oh, wow. See some of our beautiful Gravenstein apples. Had that beautiful characteristic striping on them. So we're getting ready for, harvested some for the apple pie, which was delicious. Absolutely delicious. Delicious. Okay, so they're gonna be picked. So let's go out front and do the rest of the update. We've been grinding up a lot of brush here, trying to work down on some. We cut a lot of brush. We also trim a lot of trees and prune a lot of things, and gradually we've been burning up. We got some piles of wood over there still to go. Yesterday, this lawn mower, don't laugh, this is like circa 1975. 1976, the Craftsman 2 with the solid state ignition. You guys know how I am. I took time to get this thing running pretty good yesterday. I stripped off all that goofy pollution control crap and rejigged that yesterday, my own little setup there. And it's 1 speed and it works okay. Burns a little bit of oil, but does a good job. It's a great mulching mower. I've cut up tremendous piles of brush with this, as you guys know. And over here I trimmed, you can see the tops of the plum trees. I did a topping on them because I don't want them, I want them to be very controlled and very bushy and stay low. I don't want them to continue rising too much. This is the real enigma over here. This orange tree, this is the Washington navel, and this is the Trovita orange. These things, remember in spring, these things had tons of blossoms and not one damn orange on these. There's our well pump, and our reservoir still has that slight leak in it. But it's not overtaxing the pump. I feel the pump is nice and cool. That's good. Did all that restoration work on that. Thank God for this for irrigation. See some of our lemons. It's going to be a very nice lemon harvest. This Meyer lemon is wonderful. Peach tree topped that a little bit. Our plum tree. You can see over there. Got just a few elephant heart plums. It was kind of a disaster because of the peach leaf curl. Got one there. These really ripen in August. They're incredibly juicy and flavorful. Now we come to what we did yesterday. And if the problem here was all of this brush, all of this Lady Banks roses were spilling over and just cutting off our path over here. So it was a hot, dirty job yesterday. Got in there, get the ladder set up, and clawed back some of our space here. And I like that now. Just got to keep them from, once, if they hit the house, they'll grow wild. And you know, these things climb on everything. They want to climb on the persimmon tree here. And I also opened up this corner by trimming hard into there with the hedge trimmer and getting this all opened up. And we mulched up a lot of brush with the mower. We took out a tremendous quantity, but I also topped, like, I don't need this Seville orange tree to get any taller. Trying to figure out what's munching on this Valencia. But we have quite a few juice oranges on. I don't need a lot of Seville sour oranges, so I want to keep that small. But everything else is doing good in the orchard. Our cherry trees, pear tree, and that'll grow over more towards this direction. But opening us up here, I don't want to lose the cactus. I really like the cactus, and I want to keep that. That's one of the cooler things. When I moved here, we had a little bit of cactus, so I want to make sure that always has some sunshine. But isn't that nice now? Got this all opened up all the way down the side, so I think it's super nice. Thanks for being along today, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this little bit of an impromptu update, just the work that we got accomplished yesterday. Sorry I didn't have anything last night, but it was such a dirty job. I didn't want to get the cell phone camera all wrecked up. Yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. So thanks for being along today, and always more adventures ahead. Thanks, everybody.